The Los Angeles Lakers find themselves in the midst of a rare, light week in the grueling NBA schedule, thanks to the NBA Cup. With 4 consecutive days off, the team is taking this time to regroup, reassess, and prepare for what promises to be a challenging matchup against the Minnesota Timberwolves on Friday. Leave your like and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any updates. We've already started doing some internal auditing, head coach J.J. Redick shared after Sunday's hard-fought 107-98 win over the Portland Trail Blazers. We're comparing the first 14 to 15 games offensively with the last 10 games to figure out what works and what doesn't. It's a great opportunity for everyone to reset. And there's plenty for the Lakers to reflect on. Just 3 weeks ago, the team seemed unstoppable. They were sitting at 10-4, securely placed in third in the Western Conference standings. Anthony Davis was being talked about as a potential MVP candidate, and Redick was earning praise for his impressive coaching debut. The energy around the team was electrifying. Fans were buzzing with hope, and it felt like the Lakers were on the verge of something special. But as any NBA fan knows, momentum in this league can shift quickly. Fast forward to today, and the Lakers are sitting at 13-11, having dropped all the way to 8th place in the West. What happened? How did things unravel so quickly? A possible turning point came during a nail-biting loss to the Orlando Magic, a game that slipped away from the Lakers in the final moments. That loss seemed to set off a chain reaction. Since then, the team has lost 7 of their last 9 games, including several blowouts where they were outscored by over 20 points. LeBron James, often the heart and soul of this team, went through one of the worst shooting slumps of his career. Anthony Davis, their defensive anchor and offensive powerhouse, saw his efficiency drop significantly. The body language on the court became concerning. Players started to avoid speaking to the media, a telling sign of frustration, and even Redick was candid about the team's internal struggles. So, what's been going wrong with the Lakers? Simply put, almost everything. Over their last 10 games, the numbers paint a grim picture. The Lakers are 3-7 in this stretch, with an average margin of defeat of 19 points. Offensively, they've plummeted to 28th in the league rankings. Their defense, once a strength, has also dropped to 24th. Even their net rating, a key indicator of overall performance, sits at a dismal 28th. One of the Lakers' calling cards has been their ability to draw fouls and get to the free throw line, but even that has disappeared. The lack of aggression, focus, and execution is glaring. Looking at the season as a whole, the Lakers now have a negative point differential and a net rating that ranks 12th in the Western Conference. Instead of looking like a team poised for a deep playoff run, they're struggling just to stay in play-in contention. There isn't one single reason for the Lakers' recent struggles. Several factors have contributed to their decline. The schedule got tougher. Early in the season, the Lakers benefited from a relatively easy schedule. They faced teams missing key players due to injuries, which allowed them to rack up wins. But recently, the competition has gotten much stiffer. They've faced elite teams like the Denver Nuggets, Phoenix Suns, and Minnesota Timberwolves, and the results haven't been pretty. Key players regressed offensively. Anthony Davis, LeBron James, and Austin Reeves, 3 of the team's primary offensive contributors, have all seen significant drops in scoring and efficiency over the past 10 games. Davis, in particular, was playing at an MVP level early in the season but has struggled to maintain that dominance. Injuries have taken a toll. The Lakers have been hit hard by injuries this season. Key players like Jared Vanderbilt and Christian Wood haven't played a single game. Austin Reeves has missed 5 games, while LeBron James, Rui Hachimura, and D'Angelo Russell have also been in and out of the lineup. The lack of continuity has made it difficult for the team to build chemistry and establish a rhythm. As the head coach, J.J. Redick has naturally faced criticism for the team's struggles. To his credit, he's been upfront about taking responsibility. After a particularly ugly blowout loss to the Miami Heat, Redick said, "This is my team. I lead it, and I'm embarrassed." While some of the issues the Lakers are facing predate Redick's tenure, like defensive lapses and roster limitations, there's no denying that his rotations and system adjustments haven't always worked. That said, it's unfair to place all the blame on him. In many ways, Redick has exceeded expectations, given the challenges he's faced in his first year as a head coach. The players also bear a significant share of the blame. Effort has been inconsistent, body language has been poor, and defensive focus has been lacking. Leaders like LeBron and Davis set the tone for the team, and when they struggle, it often trickles down to the rest of the roster. The front office isn't without fault, either. They made the decision to bring back much of the same roster from last season, hoping for better results. While continuity can be valuable, this group has clear limitations. The lack of depth and versatility on the roster has been exposed, especially during this recent rough patch. Potentially, a trade could save the season, but it's not a guarantee. The Lakers have some assets, including first-round picks, that they could use to make a big move. But it would likely take a major trade to bring in a player who could truly elevate their ceiling. Even then, it's unclear whether that would be enough to close the gap with elite teams like the Boston Celtics or Denver Nuggets. For the Lakers to turn their season around, several things need to happen. First and foremost, they need to get healthy. Injuries have derailed their momentum, and getting their full roster back will be crucial. Second, their stars, LeBron and Davis, need to lead the way. When they're fully engaged and playing at a high level, the rest of the team tends to follow suit. Third, Redick needs to hold the players accountable and make the necessary adjustments to put them in the best position to succeed. Finally, the front office should seriously consider making a trade to address the team's weaknesses. Whether it's adding shooting, defense, or playmaking, the right move could make a big difference. The road ahead for the Lakers is undoubtedly challenging. But with the right adjustments and a renewed sense of urgency, there's still time to salvage the season. The question is, can they rise to the occasion? A recent report has added an intriguing layer to LeBron James' future with the Los Angeles Lakers. If the superstar forward were to request a trade, his son, Bronny James, might be included in the deal. This scenario raises questions about LeBron's championship aspirations, his family priorities, and the Lakers' ability to build a competitive roster around their aging star. LeBron, entering his 22nd NBA season, is about to turn 40 at the end of this month. Despite his age and the immense mileage on his body, his hunger for another championship remains undiminished. LeBron has repeatedly stated that his primary motivation for continuing to play is to add more titles to his already historic career. However, the Lakers' current roster and performance make that goal seem increasingly out of reach. If the Lakers can't position themselves as serious title contenders soon, LeBron may explore his options elsewhere. This possibility was first discussed by ESPN analyst Kendrick Perkins on First Take. Perkins claimed that if LeBron were to request a trade, the Lakers' front office would have no choice but to entertain the idea. LeBron James is all about winning at this point in his career, Perkins said. If the Lakers can't provide him with a championship-caliber roster, I wouldn't be surprised if he looked for an exit. Adding to the speculation, Lakers insider Anthony Irwin of Clutch Points revealed that Bronny James, LeBron's rookie son, could also be part of any potential trade package involving his father. Irwin reported, sources close to the Lakers did say that, if James asked the Lakers to trade him, they would work with him to find a deal that lands him where he'd rather be, but also brings back the kind of return that would jumpstart a rebuild. If James was traded, it's also believed Bronny James would have to be part of the deal. This revelation complicates an already high-stakes situation. LeBron has been vocal about his desire to play alongside his son in the NBA. It's a dream he has openly discussed for years, and it became a reality when Bronny was drafted by the Lakers this past summer with the 55th overall pick in the 2024 NBA Draft. Although Bronny is still in the early stages of his development and far from being a significant contributor, he has shown flashes of potential that could make him a valuable role player in the future. For LeBron, playing with Bronny is more than just a personal milestone, it's part of his legacy. However, the reality is that the Lakers' current roster construction makes the dream of winning a championship alongside his son seem increasingly unlikely. If LeBron believes that staying in Los Angeles hampers his chances of achieving both goals, a trade request could become a serious consideration. The Lakers, for their part, are at a crossroads. Despite having two superstars in LeBron and Anthony Davis, the team has struggled to consistently compete at the highest level. Since LeBron joined the Lakers in 2018, the team has only one championship to show for his time in Los Angeles, a title won during the pandemic-shortened 2019-2020 season. While that championship was significant, it falls short of the expectations set when LeBron first arrived in LA. Many fans and analysts blame the Lakers' front office for their inability to build a roster capable of sustained success. Questionable trades, missed opportunities in free agency, and an over-reliance on aging or injury-prone players have left the team in a precarious position. With LeBron's career nearing its twilight, The clock is ticking for the Lakers to make bold moves to improve their chances of winning another title. One major challenge is the Lakers' lack of flexibility. The team has limited trade assets and cap space, making it difficult to acquire the kind of elite talent needed to complement LeBron and Davis. This offseason, the Lakers made some modest improvements, but it's clear that those moves alone won't be enough to turn them into serious contenders. As for Bronny, his inclusion in a potential trade adds another layer of complexity. While he's not yet a proven NBA player, his association with LeBron makes him an intriguing asset. Teams interested in acquiring LeBron might view Bronny as a sweetener in any trade deal, particularly if they believe he has the potential to develop into a solid contributor. If LeBron were to request a trade, the Lakers would face a difficult decision. On one hand, trading away the greatest player of his generation, along with his son, would signal the beginning of a rebuilding era. On the other hand, holding on to LeBron without making significant changes to the roster could lead to another disappointing season and potentially alienate one of the most influential players in NBA history. LeBron's potential departure would also have significant implications for the Lakers' brand and fan base. Since joining the team, LeBron has been the face of the franchise, attracting global attention and elevating the Lakers' profile both on and off the court. Losing him would undoubtedly create a void that would be difficult to fill, both in terms of star power and competitive success. For now, everything hinges on how the Lakers perform this season. If the team can show signs of improvement and position itself as a legitimate contender, LeBron might be willing to stay and pursue his goals in Los Angeles. However, if the struggles continue and the front office fails to make meaningful changes, the possibility of a trade request will loom larger with each passing day. Ultimately, LeBron's decision will come down to what he values most at this stage of his career: winning another championship, playing alongside his son, or leaving a lasting legacy with the Lakers. Whatever happens, one thing is certain: the basketball world will be watching closely as this drama unfolds. The Lakers are in a pivotal moment, and the stakes couldn't be higher. LeBron's championship window is narrowing, and the team's ability to meet his expectations will determine not only his future but also the future of the franchise. Whether he stays or moves on, this season could mark a turning point in one of the most storied careers in NBA history. The Los Angeles Lakers are treading a precarious path in the 2024-25 NBA season, holding a 13-11 record. While this places them 8th in the hyper-competitive Western Conference, their standing feels fragile. They're just 5.5 games behind the first-seeded Oklahoma City Thunder, but only 1.5 games ahead of the Sacramento Kings, who are currently sitting at 12th. With the West as tight as ever, any setback, especially a long-term injury to one of their two aging All-NBA stars, Anthony Davis or LeBron James, could knock the team out of playoff contention entirely. The Lakers' biggest concern this season isn't their offensive output but their glaring defensive struggles, particularly along the wing. Outside of Cam Reddish and Gabe Vincent, who provide strong defense but limited scoring, the team lacks reliable two-way players. This defensive hole has dropped the Lakers to 27th in the league in defensive efficiency, with a rating of 117.7. It's clear that if the Lakers hope to compete for a championship in LeBron James' twilight years, a roster overhaul is necessary. In light of these challenges, Bleacher Report's Greg Swartz has proposed an intriguing trade scenario that could address the Lakers' needs on the wing while shoring up their rotation. Swartz emphasizes that while fans might dream of a third superstar joining LeBron and AD, the Lakers' current assets and draft capital make such a move unlikely. Instead, targeting high-impact role players like Finney-Smith and Schröder could be a more realistic path to improving the roster and addressing their weaknesses. Dorian Finney-Smith is the type of player the Lakers desperately need. A quintessential 3 and D wing, Finney-Smith has been stellar for the Brooklyn Nets this season, averaging 10.7 points, 4.3 rebounds, and shooting an impressive 42.2% from beyond the arc. His defensive versatility would immediately address the Lakers' struggles on the wing, as he can guard multiple positions and take on some of the league's toughest assignments. Swartz notes that Finney-Smith would likely slide into the starting lineup, forming a formidable defensive front with LeBron James and Anthony Davis. Rui Hachimura, while a solid offensive player, could see his role shift to coming off the bench, where his scoring ability would still be valuable. Dennis Schröder, meanwhile, is a familiar face for Lakers fans. The veteran guard has proven to be a reliable two-way player in his stints with the team, first in the 2020-21 season and then again in 2022-23. Schröder's steady play during the 2022-23 campaign earned him a 2-year, $25.4 million deal with the Toronto Raptors. He was later traded to the Brooklyn Nets, where he has continued to contribute as a dependable guard. Schröder's ability to handle the ball, defend, and create offense would provide much-needed stability in the Lakers' backcourt. For the Brooklyn Nets, this trade represents an opportunity to kickstart a rebuild. Currently holding a 10-14 record, the Nets are just barely clinging to the 8th seed in the Eastern Conference. However, their roster lacks the star power or depth needed to compete with the East's elite teams. By trading Finney-Smith and Schröder, the Nets could acquire valuable assets to build for the future. A lightly protected 2029 first-round pick from the Lakers gives Brooklyn a potential high-value draft asset, especially considering that LeBron James and Anthony Davis may no longer be in the league by then. Additionally, the Nets would gain young talent in Jalen Hood-Schifino, the 21-year-old guard selected 17th overall in the 2023 NBA Draft. Hood-Schifino has shown flashes of promise, and Brooklyn could provide him with the developmental opportunities he needs to grow. D'Angelo Russell, while inconsistent, could also see his value rehabilitated in Brooklyn, either as a trade piece or a contributor for a rebuilding team. Schwartz highlights the Nets' strategy, stating, "Brooklyn can start their rebuild while maximizing the value of their current veterans. A deal like this allows them to collect assets and prepare for the future." For the Lakers, this trade is about more than just improving their defense. It's about maximizing the final years of LeBron James' legendary career. Now in his 22nd season, LeBron continues to defy Father Time, but the window for him to compete for championships is closing. The Lakers cannot afford to waste another season of his brilliance. Adding Finney-Smith and Schröder would give the Lakers a better balanced roster and address their most glaring weaknesses. With a stronger defensive presence on the wing and added depth in the backcourt, the Lakers would be better equipped to navigate the grueling Western Conference. However, this trade would also come at a cost. Moving players like D'Angelo Russell and Christian Wood would thin out the Lakers' depth, and giving up a future first-round pick adds risk to the deal. But for a team in win-now mode, these are the kinds of calculated risks that must be taken. The Lakers find themselves at a crossroads. Do they stick with their current roster and hope for internal improvement, or do they make bold moves to address their weaknesses? The proposed trade for Finney-Smith and Schröder offers a clear path to improvement, but it also requires the front office to take decisive action. As the season unfolds, the pressure will only mount. LeBron James and Anthony Davis remain one of the league's most formidable duos, but their championship aspirations hinge on the pieces around them. If the Lakers hope to make a deep playoff run and contend for a title, they'll need to make moves sooner rather than later. This trade proposal may not be a blockbuster in the traditional sense, but it represents a calculated gamble that could pay off for the Lakers. The question now is whether the front office has the vision and urgency to pull the trigger. One thing is certain: time is running out, and the Lakers cannot afford to waste another season.